What's up, everybody? It is Broken Havoc here, right here on the Broken Havoc podcast. Here to review Raw. I'm not even going to call it Monday Night Raw. I'm just going to call it Raw or Rematch-A-Mania from June 14th, 2021. Overall thoughts on this show. I mean, like every week, it's the same old thing. The show was terrible. It sucked. I said it before, and like literally a few moments ago, this is Rematch-A-Mania. And I don't mean that as a catchphrase. I mean legit, this is Rematch-A-Mania. We got just rematches and rematches. I mean, it made absolutely no sense. We got a main event, which was actually pretty good, with Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles, but too bad it ended in a DQ and actually transformed into a six-man tag team match. That was stupid. I don't know why that had to happen, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah, no, of course, also, our WWE champion also got pinned, so yeah, that was really dumb. But it is what it is. It's WWE booking them. I mean, what else is there? I mean, it's really stupid. You know what I mean? But in the beginning of the show, we got Alexa Bliss talking about the ending of Raw last week, which everybody crapped on all over social media. Nobody liked the segment at all. It was stupid and lame, and it literally felt like nobody was watching a wrestling show. That's what it was. But she talks about how Shayna deserved it and how Lily was taking a break. Nia Jax later confronts Alexa Bliss and talks about how she used to be her friend. And Alexa turns to Nia Jax and's like, we were never friends. Damn. Then says that Shayna challenges her at Hell in a Cell this Sunday. And Alexa Bliss accepts. So let me get this straight. So we got Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. This match was booked 1 week. 1 week before the pay-per-view. Could you imagine if the WWE Network didn't exist? Or if any streaming service like Peacock didn't exist? And we had to pay like $40 to $50 just for a B-level pay-per-view? Bruh, I would have free streamed that. If so, like, come on now. I mean, really? Like, could you imagine if we had to pay $50? Like, come on, man. You got to stop with what WWE needs to stop doing is literally book matches like right before the pay-per-view, like a week before the pay-per-view or a week or two before the pay-per-view. They should have the match booked already. But instead, WWE's going the lazy route, having rematches on Raw, not even knowing what the hell they're going to be doing next week. So, like, what the hell is going to happen at Hell in a Cell, honestly? The only matches I'm looking forward to at Hell in a Cell is Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns. We don't even know if we're going to get Jimmy versus Jey Uso. I mean, like, who knows if that match is even going to happen, but it is what it is. And I also literally forgot that there was a pay-per-view on Sunday. That's another reason. I literally forgot that Hell in a Cell was this Sunday. I knew that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was going to happen, but I literally forgot it was this Sunday. All right, the first match of the night is Nikki Cross versus Charlotte Flair. Again, for the second time, I don't care about this match. This match sucked, in my opinion. Nikki Cross, by the way, won by countout again. What are they doing with Nikki Cross? I have absolutely no idea. But we got a takedown by Charlotte. Rhea Ripley comes out. We got a roll-up by Cross. Then we get a 2 count. Charlotte begins to work on Cross. Then we get a boot on Cross. Charlotte works on Cross after that. Cross tries to fight back. We get a couple chops by Flair. Then we get a sunset flip by Cross, but Charlotte stomps on Cross. Takes Cross to the top. Chops by Charlotte. Charlotte goes to the top. Cross begins to fight back. Then we get a tornado DDT, which looked nice, by the way, by Nikki Cross. Then we get a crossbody attempt by Cross, but Charlotte catches her. Then throws Cross outside of the ring on the floor. That looked nasty. Cross wins after that. Well, actually, what happens before that is literally Charlotte and Rhea. Rhea is just sitting next to the commentary desk. And by this point, right after Charlotte threw Nikki Cross, which should have been devastating, Charlotte begins to confront Rhea, right? And all of a sudden, Nikki Cross out of nowhere, after being thrown in a violent way by Charlotte, wins by countout. Again, the lack of logic is so stupid. But after that, Charlotte drops Cross and attacks her. And then Rhea Rhea riptides Charlotte, which is her finisher, by the way. If Adnan Virk was here, he would have been like riptad, right? I'm sorry, I'm literally dreaded, and this show actually absolutely sucks. But yeah. So yeah, we got Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte, and they're not even done with this show later on. So then we get Riddle and Jeff Hardy backstage. Riddle asks Hardy for advice. Hardy actually says that he should listen to Randy Orton, and Riddle speaks, and the camera just gets a little close up on Riddle, and then once they zoom out, Hardy's gone, and then they turn the other way, and Randy Orton is there. So Randy Orton confronts Riddle and says that he should not be another Randy Orton. Instead, he should be the one and only Riddle. So we got some good shit happening. I ain't gonna lie, I actually really enjoyed the tag team match that happened on Raw. That was like the only good thing on Raw. And besides, RKBro is actually starting to grow on me. I actually really enjoy RKBro. It's not a bad tag team combination. It's not even a real tag team, but it's a good combination, in my opinion. All right, we got the first of 2 Jeff Hardy matches tonight on Raw. WWE loves doing that, but whatever. John Morrison versus Jeff Hardy. The match starts... Well, actually, no, the match doesn't start. Before the match even starts, Morrison attacks Hardy with the dripstick before the match. Oh, yeah, and by the way, The Miz is on the commentary desk in a wheelchair selling the attack by zombies. I know, it was really stupid. So the match starts. We get a spinning kick by Morrison. Cedric Alexander comes out. Right hands by Morrison. Morrison begins to work on Hardy. Hardy drops in between Morrison. Throws the towel on Miz. Drops Morrison from the top rope. We get a cover and a near fall. Kick by Morrison on the apron. Morrison drops Hardy and pins Hardy. Alexander after that cuts a promo. He says that he idolized Jeff Hardy. Literally says that he idolized Jeff Hardy. And then says that he's going to be putting him into a retirement home. And then after that, Jeff Hardy replies and he's like, if you're going to put me in a retirement home, you should face me right now in the ring. So we get Cedric Alexander versus Jeff Hardy again, which, I mean, we've seen this match already. What's the point of having this match again? And not only that, there's like an unofficial stipulation. If Jeff Hardy loses, he's going to retire. I mean, like, come on now. That is, first off, that stipulation was like completely unnecessary. Not only that, it was quote unquote unofficial in my opinion. I mean, like the commentators barely mentioned that at all. You know what I mean? Stuff like that WWE needs to work on. I mean, the lack of interest and the lack of logic when it comes to WWE is astounding. All right. The match starts. Alexander targets the knee of Hardy. We get a dragon screw. We get a cover and a near fall. Continues to work on the knee. Then we get a second dragon screw by Alexander. Then he kicks on the knee of Jeff Hardy. Hardy drops Alexander with the jawbreaker after that. Sends Alexander in the corner. We get a cover and a near fall. Then we get a twist of fate countered into a Michinoku driver by Alexander, which looked awesome. Cover and a near fall. Then we get a swanton bomb attempt by Jeff Hardy, but he misses when Alexander just rolled away. Then we get a flying knee by Alexander. And then we get a neutralizer, but Alexander misses with the neutralizer. Then we get a twist of fate, and then Hardy hits a swanton bomb from the top. Hardy wins the match. I could care less. We've seen this match already, and there's more rematches to come on this show. Now, this next match everybody was talking about, and everybody was angry about, including myself, because this made absolutely no sense. I said absolutely twice, didn't I? But this match made absolutely no sense. It was so stupid. So we got Eva Marie versus Naomi. As advertised, Eva Marie was supposed to be making her in-ring debut. And we're back right where we left off, right from 2016, in the beginning of the brand split on SmackDown Live, where Eva Marie comes in the ring, but instead of having wardrobe malfunctions, instead it's another wrestler replacing Eva Marie for basically to wrestle for her, even though it's going to be under Eva Marie's name, whoever that wrestler wins. So in this case, it was Piper Niven. Now, I did not know who she was before this match, but a lot of people on social media did know who she was. Apparently, she was from NXT UK, and I will say she was impressive in the ring. She was really good in the ring. The match starts, so she plants and drops Naomi. Then we get a crossbody splash, and then we get a Michinoku driver by Piper, and wins the match. So she basically just squashes Naomi. And then after that, Eva Marie goes, the winner of the match, Eva Marie. Yeah. So WWE released people like Aleister Black, Braun Strowman, and Ruby Riott for quote-unquote budget cuts. Now, granted, Braun Strowman's was definitely a budget cut because his contract was big as hell. Like, it was literally like $1 million contract. He would be paid like millions every year. But the other wrestlers, like Ruby Riott, I mean, she got released, and she's the definition of a pro wrestler. Piper Niven is also the definition of a pro wrestler, in my opinion. She was great in the ring. Eva Marie is not a definition of a pro wrestler at all. In my opinion, she was never good in the ring at all. There's a whole compilation video of Eva Marie, and I did state in my previous reviews that I will give Eva Marie a chance. But clearly, I'm no longer going to give her a chance, mainly because I clearly see what WWE is doing with Eva Marie. Not only that, I mean, the fact that they had all those wrestlers released for Eva Marie is astounding. And the fact that they put her on Raw is hilarious, considering the fact that Raw sucks. So if you want to make Raw suck even more, add Eva Marie, right? And, you know, a lot of people on the internet take things way too seriously and personally when it comes to like them not liking a wrestler. And if you're one of those people, in my opinion, I think you're not a real fan and you're delusional. But in this case, when I'm criticizing Eva Marie, I'm only criticizing her for her work. Clearly, she was never good in the ring. She can be the nicest person in the world. Nothing against her personally. I just don't think she was great in the ring at all. A lot of fans will even tell you she couldn't wrestle at all. I mean, if you watch the compilation videos, I mean, there's a whole compilation video on YouTube of her botching. I mean, how am I supposed to take Eva Marie seriously now if we've seen a lot of her botches in the ring a couple of years ago? And now you're bringing in somebody like Piper Niven who can wrestle really well. I mean, she really showed that in the match against Naomi. She was really good in the ring, in my opinion. Piper Niven is impressive. She's great. But it goes to show you that the way that they're booking Eva Marie, there's clear indication that you already know what you expect from Eva Marie. Eva Marie is still green when it comes to her in-ring work. That's my opinion on Eva Marie. So, am I going to give her a chance? Not anymore. I'm sorry. Not anymore. But yeah, we get Mandy Rose earlier today and Dana Brooke taking a photo shoot. And then they both see Tamina and Natalya training in the ring, who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Both go back and forth verbally. And then they begin to brawl. What was the point of this? I do not know. Are they trying to make the tag team title scene important? Maybe. And you know what? I applaud them for that, but I mean, WWE never focused on the women's tag team titles as they should. If anything, those titles don't mean anything, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the women's tag team championships, mainly because there was no build with the women's tag division. I said this before, and I'll say it again. If WWE had built a foundation for a women's tag team division and then introduced the titles, I would have been astounded. I would have been fine with it, and I would have been happy to be like, yes, that's the way you should introduce women's tag titles. I feel like that's what AEW is doing with their trios title. I feel like they're building the foundation with all of these different small factions, and then once they have the foundation set, then they will introduce the titles. But when it comes to WWE, they had no women's tag teams at all. They just put two women together, and boom, you got a tag team with no story whatsoever. They introduced the titles 2 years ago on the road to WrestleMania, which had no women's tag teams at all. They just put the two teams together, and then boom, they have women's tag titles. I mean, you can't do that. You need a legit women's tag team division. That's just my opinion. But, I mean, I applaud them for at least actually trying to make it seem important. But, I mean, at this point, I mean, I'm being 100% honest. I don't care about the women's tag team division. I mean, I don't even call it a division, mainly because of the fact that they're not real tag teams. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So we get Drew McIntyre in a backstage interview. He talks about Bobby Lashley. He calls him Trashly, and then talks about this small story. I don't even remember what he was talking about. I didn't even take notes at all during the segment. It was kind of a similar segment on what he did last year. I mean, not last year. Last week in that contract signing. And then he talks about AJ Styles facing him. That's it. Now, one match that I really enjoyed watching was The New Day versus Riddle and Randy Orton. This was a really good match. I really enjoyed this tag team match. The New Day is always great, and RKBro is awesome. I'm sorry. They are awesome at what they do. I really enjoy their work. RKBro is hilarious. I love the fact that Riddle's just like acting like a freaking stoner, and Randy Orton's just sitting there just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But whatever. So Woods and Riddle start, both lock up. We get a bro mission by Riddle. Kofi tags in. We get a double team but we get a double team attempt by the New Day. We get a covering day near fall. Woods tags in. He works on the wrist. Kofi tags in. We get a double stomp from the top. We get a right forearm by Riddle. Chop by Riddle. An arm drag. Orton tags in. Orton and Woods lock up. We get a side headlock by Orton on Woods. Elbow by Orton. Kofi tags in. Crossbody by Kofi. Orton works on Kofi in the corner. We get a drop kick by Kofi. Riddle interferes, but Woods hits a belly-to-belly suplex. The New Day trick Randy Orton and Riddle by attempting to try to do a suicide dive, both, but they didn't. Flying knee by Riddle. We get a fisherman suplex by Riddle on Woods. Orton tags in. Double team by Orton and Riddle. Cover by Orton. Near fall. Shoulder lock by Orton on Woods. Works on the left arm by Woods. Tag by Riddle. Broton by Matt Riddle. Armbar by Riddle on Woods. Woods is trying to escape. Orton tags in. Stomps on Woods. Side headlock. Kofi tags in. Drops Orton. We get a couple chops on by Kofi Kingston. Drop kick, drops Orton. Riddle tags in, works on Kofi. Then we get a floating bro. We get a cover and a near fall. Both Riddle and Woods are on the top. Woods with the right hand. Kofi tags in. We get a superplex by Xavier Woods. Superplex by Kofi as well. Cover, but Orton makes the save. Takes Orton out. We get an inside cradle by Riddle, but we get a near fall. Kick by Riddle. Northern Lights suplex by Matt Riddle. So he pulled the Matt Jackson right there. Orton tags in. Powerbomb on Woods by Randy Orton. Cover and day near fall. Orton tries to DDT Woods, but Kofi drags him out. Enzuigiri by Woods. Riddle tags in. Riddle tries to German suplex him from the middle rope, which, again, I loved that spot from their previous match. That was really badass, and I really wanted it to happen again, but, I mean, it didn't happen. Riddle's on the top of Woods. Kofi tags in. We get a double stomp to the chest by Kofi. Cover and day near fall. Woods tags in. Kofi drops from the top, but Riddle counters with the knee. Orton tags in. Orton tries to RKO, but Woods counters with the roll-up. We get a near fall. Woods, at this point, this is like right at the end of the match. Woods tries to roll on the mat, but when he lands on his feet, Orton catches him with the RKO for the win. RKBro win the match. By far, best match of the night. I really loved this match. This match was really fun to watch. RKBro, awesome at what they do. I love the chemistry with Xavier Woods and Matt Riddle. I honestly believe once you put those two in the ring, they will just steal the show. They are phenomenal at what they do. And I keep saying phenomenal all the time, I know, but they're just awesome at what they do. Rhea Ripley backstage, she basically cuts a promo on Charlotte, says that it's so funny about seeing someone so powerful for them to fall. And then she gets ready for her match. And then the next match, of course, is Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. I could have sworn we've seen this match before. I honestly do not remember. I could have sworn we've seen this match, but it is what it is. So we get the match started. The match was not bad. I actually really enjoyed this match. Asuka is awesome. She's amazing in the ring. Same thing as Rhea Ripley. But, I mean, like, I could have sworn we've seen this match before, but, I mean, they did wrestle in that triple threat at Backlash, but come on now. We've seen this match. Let's get another match booked for the show instead of having rematch after rematch after rematch. So we get a side headlock by Asuka. We get a hip toss in the cover by Asuka. Clothesline by Asuka. Ripley at this point, when Asuka clotheslines her, Ripley no sells. Right hand by Ripley. Works on Ripley. We get an armbar by Asuka. Then we get a sleeper hold by Asuka. Ripley drops Asuka. We get a cover and a near fall. A clothesline by Ripley. A right forearm by Asuka. Dropkick misses by Ripley on the turnbuckle. Ripley's on the outside. We get a knee countered by Asuka. Ripley throws Asuka on the barricade and dropkick by Ripley twice in the corner. Asuka's on the top. Ripley tries to superplex Asuka, but Asuka drops Ripley. Dropkick by Asuka. We get a couple back and forth shots by Asuka and Ripley. Knee by Asuka. A clothesline by Asuka. We get a hip attack by Asuka. Cover and a near fall. A Northern Light suplex by Ripley. Asuka fights back. We get a German suplex by Asuka. A sliding kick by Asuka at this point. Cover and a near fall. Kick by Asuka, and then we get a knee by Ripley. Forearm by Ripley. Reversal by Asuka. Asuka tries to go for the Asuka lock. Riptide by Ripley. Ripley wins the match. Then after that, I actually enjoyed this part of the show, and it was not like the longest. I mean, it wasn't really a segment. It was right after the match. It was a brawl that happened between Charlotte and Ripley, and to the point where security guards came in. So you got management like Pat Buck, Shane Helms, Jamie Noble, and Adam Pearce just coming in, and referees trying to separate both Ripley and Charlotte. I will say, I'm not excited for Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley because everybody knows that Charlotte's going to win the title, because you have a situation in which Ripley is supposed to be the babyface in this predicament, right? And Charlotte is supposed to be the heel. But you have Ripley doing a lot of heel tactics. Not only that, just making fun of Charlotte, kind of like a heel would do. So it goes to show you that they're most likely going to put the belt on Charlotte again, and nobody wants to see that, but it's going to happen. But I will say I really enjoyed this brawl. I thought it was pretty fun to watch. It's a situation in which WWE is trying to make this match important, even though it's really predictable and everybody does not like this predicament in which Charlotte is going to win. But I did like the brawl, so I don't care what anybody says. I enjoyed the brawl. But it doesn't really make me as excited for this match. I mean, the match that I'm looking forward to at Hell in a Cell is Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell. Lashley is backstage with all the women. MVP confronts the interviewer. MVP says that he does not know why McIntyre and AJ is happening. Lashley snatches the mic after that, says that he will beat McIntyre, and he laughed at McIntyre when he was talking about the William Wallace story. That was basically the promo that McIntyre was cutting earlier tonight in the backstage interview. And he says that McIntyre's crime is trying to take his WWE Championship. So, yeah, I do think that McIntyre and Lashley will be a good match, but, I mean, come on now. Roman Reigns is going to steal the show with Rey Mysterio. Let's be 100% honest here. All right, Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. So, the match starts. We get a couple kicks by Bliss. Then we get a sleeper hold by Bliss. We get a takedown by Nia Jax. Bliss, at this point, is pulling a Bray Wyatt and is crawling like Spider-Man. She's basically doing the spider. Reversed. Nia gets control, but Bliss sidesteps her. Bliss is taking control over Jax. We get a push by Jax, a slam by Jax, a right hand by Bliss, shoulder tackle by Jax. Jax misses a leg drop, sliding enziguri by Bliss. Bliss goes to the top. Then all of a sudden, Reginald tries to distract Alexa Bliss. We get a drop kick by Nia, then a DDT by Bliss. Then we get a twisted Bliss by Alexa Bliss. Reginald interferes, and the match ends in a DQ. Bliss at this point stares at Reginald, and they're just staring at each other, just like, what the hell's going on? And that match ends. Do I care about this? Absolutely not. I could care less. I'm not a fan of the supernatural type stuff that's happening on Raw. MVP confronts Kofi Kingston, and MVP says that Kofi Mania is dead. Says that he is wasting his career in tag teams. Says that he is still a loser. And then Kofi replies that they are not in the mood, and says that the reason that he has been successful is because his friends and family pushed him. Tells MVP to move on and wishes him good luck at Hell in a Cell, that being MVP. MVP wishes Kofi good luck at Hell in a Cell, and then later comes back and says, oh wait, you don't have a match at Hell in a Cell. Where does this lead to? I'm actually really enjoying these segments with MVP and Kofi Kingston. I really enjoy their segments. And I do think that this is going to lead towards a push when it comes to Kofi Kingston again, which I'm for. Kofi Kingston, Kofi Mania 2. I am for Kofi Mania 2. I mean, Kofi Kingston should get another push, in my opinion. That's just me. You can think any way you want, but that's what I believe. All right. I predicted this last week in my Raw review when I was watching Elias versus Jackson Ryker. And I was like, I guarantee you we're going to see a rematch between Jackson Ryker and Elias. And lo and behold, we got a rematch with Jackson Ryker and Elias. So we get a flying knee by Elias. We get a couple chops by Elias. Sends Ryker in the corner. We get a couple chops by Elias. Double axe handle by Ryker. Knee by Ryker, works on Elias. Chops by Ryker, back and forth in the corner by Ryker and Elias. We get a boot by Elias. We get a chop by Elias. He plants Elias to the mat. Kick by Elias on the outside. Ryker sends Elias spine first on the ring post. Ryker goes back in the ring, but Elias retreats and gets counted out. Ryker wins the match via countout. Again, I don't care about this match. What is so important about Jackson Ryker and Elias? First off, Why is this match happening? Why is there a rematch? I do not know why. I guarantee we're going to get another rematch with Jackson Ryker and Elias next week on Raw. I will call it. We're going to get another rematch. All right. Now we got our quote-unquote main event. We got AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. And the reason why I say quote-unquote main event is because this is actually not the main event in the show. I'll explain why later, and it's a stupid reason. So Lashley comes out with all the girls to watch the match on the stage. And the match starts. Both Styles and McIntyre lock up. Styles sends McIntyre in the corner. We get an Irish whip in the corner by McIntyre. We get a couple chops by Styles in the corner, but McIntyre sends AJ once again in the corner and a couple chops by AJ. McIntyre drops Styles to the mat. We get a couple stomps by Styles. Styles fights back. We get a backslide attempted by McIntyre. We get a future shock DDT. He stalls Lashley and kind of calls him out and kind of shows off in front of him. Lashley comes to the ring. We go to commercial break. And then Omos just slips AJ outside of the ring. Then the Viking Raiders come out of nowhere. McIntyre works on Styles in the corner. Styles fights back. McIntyre throws Styles in the corner. We get a tilt-a-world backbreaker by McIntyre on Styles. A suplex countered by Styles. Styles hits hits McIntyre. Right hand shots by McIntyre on Styles. A right forearm by McIntyre. Styles pushes McIntyre. Sends McIntyre to the top rope outside of the ring. Sends McIntyre to the ring post. We got a couple right hands by Styles. Tries to suplex McIntyre. McIntyre drops AJ on the top rope. We get a kick in the corner by Styles on McIntyre. Works on McIntyre. McIntyre fights back. Sleeper attempt by Styles. We get a chin lock by Styles. Then a drawbreaker and then a clothesline by McIntyre. Clotheslines again by McIntyre. Suplex on Styles to cover into a near fall. Then we get a Michinoku driver, a really nice Michinoku driver by McIntyre. I actually really enjoyed that spot. Both are on the top. Tries to superplex, but Styles escapes. Styles drops McIntyre. We get a cover into a near fall. Tries to go for the Styles clash, but McIntyre sends Styles out. No, McIntyre sends Styles outside of the ring. Lashley tries to interfere, but McIntyre sends a right hand on Lashley. McIntyre's on the top. We get a clothesline from the top. Lashley comes in, attacks Drew McIntyre, and causes, in typical WWE fashion, a disqualification. Then the Viking Raiders come out and enter the fray. They both attack Lashley. Then we get a belly-to-belly suplex by McIntyre on Lashley, and then a brawl breaks loose out of nowhere. And we go to commercial break. Lo and behold, we come back from a commercial break, and instantly, out of nowhere, a 6-man tag team match was sanctioned. So Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders versus Bobby Lashley, Omos, and AJ Styles. Look, come on now. Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles, although the booking with the match made no sense, like, why is this match happening? That match was not bad. And the fact that they had to just end it and just book a 6-man tag team match out of nowhere is completely stupid. Why would you do that? That is so dumb. Another reason why I don't like Raw. So the match starts. Lashley is backstage. Lashley is backstage just trying to change into his wrestling gear. Eric and Styles start. Styles works on Eric's. Ivar tags in. He works on Styles. Then Eric tags in. We get a double team attempt by the Viking Raiders. Cover into a near fall. Lashley comes back and sends McIntyre into the steps. Lashley tags in. Works on Eric in the corner. A couple right hands by Lashley. Cover into a near fall. Styles tags in. Works on Eric. Omos tags in. Boot in the corner on Eric. Lashley tags in. Eric fights back. Pulls Eric not to tag. Drops Eric face first to the mat. Right hand by Eric. Ivar tags in. A side slam on Lashley. A splash by Ivar. Choke slam by Lashley on Ivar. Cover and Eric with the knee. Drop kick by AJ. Belly to belly on McIntyre by Lashley. A big boot by Ivar. Omos tags in. Ivar tries to fight Omos, but Omos just dominates everyone. Lashley works on Ivar in the corner from a commercial break. Takedown by Lashley on Ivar. Omos tags in. Drops himself on Ivar in the corner. Styles tags in. We get a head kick by Styles. Ivar clothesline Styles. McIntyre tags in. AJ tags Omos. Both face off. Omos chokes McIntyre. Then we get a kick and right hands by McIntyre. Styles tags in. We get a belly-to-belly suplex by AJ Styles. Second belly-to-belly suplex on Styles. No, a belly-to-belly on Styles, and then we get a second belly-to-belly on Styles. A third belly-to-belly, Omos from the apron drops McIntyre from the head, takes out Ivar. Eric throws himself on Omos. Omos throws Ivar over the barricade, which looked crazy. Lashley tags in. Then we get an instant Claymore kick by McIntyre, and McIntyre pins the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, which I thought was a stupid decision, especially considering the fact that they got a match at Hell in a Cell. And you want to make the champion look strong, but at this point, the champion does not look strong, and you have McIntyre pin Bobby Lashley. But it's typical WWE booking. Who cares? I mean, they're known to do stuff like this, and it's really dumb. And McIntyre and the Viking Raiders win the match. So, the match was not bad. I just hated the fact that they had McIntyre and Styles one-on-one, which was not a bad match going into it. It was not a bad match at all. And the fact that the match had to end in a disqualification in typical WWE fashion was stupid. And the fact that we go to commercial break and we get a freaking 6-man tag team match out of nowhere was really dumb. I don't like when WWE does that, because when WWE does that, it drives the viewer away from the show because they want to see McIntyre versus Styles. And then all of a sudden they're enjoying the match and then you had to ruin it from a DQ. I mean, that's really dumb and stupid, but it is what it is. But yeah, this was Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Rematch Mania. Overall thoughts on the show, I thought this was a pretty bad show. I mean, this was not a great show at all. Honestly, after watching TakeOver in Your House last 2 nights ago, I mean, it was a really good TakeOver. I mean, there were a couple matches the Mercedes Martinez match I wasn't really invested in. But, I mean, the Fatal five-way match, and, of course, Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez, and the ladder match between Eli Drake and Cameron Grimes. Those were really good matches. And, of course, the opening match with, MSK and Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma. I mean, those were really good matches. You know what I mean? NXT always tears the house down when it comes to their takeovers. And as someone that doesn't watch NXT weekly, I really enjoy TakeOver. And then watching this show, Raw, I just did not give a shit at all. Honestly, I'm more excited to watch NXT now this Tuesday because, we got a big announcement coming in, or Regal addresses the state of NXT. So I'm excited to watch that. But yeah, that was Raw. It was a pretty bad show, but it is what it is. So yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. And yeah, please like, subscribe, comment down below, push that notification, and keep an eye out on my Hell in a Cell predictions video this Wednesday since there's no Dynamite. Once again, considering the fact that the NBA playoffs are going on, I'm going to be uploading my Hell in a Cell predictions video, so I will be uploading that this Wednesday. And yeah, please subscribe. And this is Broken Havoc from the Broken Havoc podcast. Signing out.